times so far. So
Yeah.
it's not looking promising at the moment, Pyra. So hopefully things change a little bit for these Vietnamese teams, because the early game has been a plague for them so far, having the complete opposite problems that the Thai teams have been having. They just can't get past that the first few stages where, you know,
Yep.
you just need to survive to get into that late game.
I think the teams that have the best chance of really coming up with enough points to maintain that top 15 position, though, since Just Team is really not picking up a lot, it's probably going to be Seal Gaming and Fire Rose. I mean, before today, they were starting in 10th and 11th, respectively, overall. Fury Roads is in 13th there. And those are the teams that probably have a chance to really compete still in the grand finals. Now, we see, as the plane zooms through the top half of the map, a pretty big spread of players all heading towards the bottom, except for one team is heading towards Observatory. So this is actually one of, not the most even split we've seen in these drops, but the teams will still kind of separate each other a little bit. We'll see a lot of them dropping, though, in a concentrated area somewhere between Mouse Out Factory and Research Edifice, just in that center of the map, left and right. As you mentioned, this is map number 3, so still 2 more left to play after this.
It's going to take some time to see how the teams fan out. We do get an Eastern play zone this time round.
Yeah, slightly different.
We actually have teams going over towards the Observatory. I mean, they would have looked at the matches of Game 1 and 2 and seen that nobody's gone towards the northern side of the map. That's a high-density looting area, and if no one's there, that is free.
Yeah, and it's also very close to the circle of play. That's the nice thing, is it's really easy to get into a good position to set up camp once you've actually got loot. So if I'm reading it correctly, I believe that team should be, it might be AL. And if it is, they're in a really good position, but not in the standings, unfortunately, so they'll kind of need that. Keep an eye on the map and see who it ends up actually being.
Time for a nap.
Early start.
Yeah.
Take a chill.
This is where we sit back, relax, and
kick your feet up, Fish. We're going to be in for a 25-minute plus match, as is the usual case for SEA.
Of course.
A couple of wild cards we've seen in our last 2 games, mostly RPG play. Not resulted in any big money kills, but making people vacate some of these concentrated houses and apartments a little bit faster than they would like. Speaking of RPGs, Akame is already going to come up with one. Must grab, as you pointed out last time.
Yeah, but it hasn't had the heavy impact like the crossbow did. Again, we've seen we watched the North American games this morning. There were 5 matches there. And now we've seen 2 games so far in the Southeast Asian series. And yeah, we've had a squad wipe through it. We've had a few really unique kills that you wouldn't have gotten without the RPG. But it's not this, crazy overpowered weapon like the crossbow was. It's actually pretty okay. I don't see this as being a problem to the game itself. It's a very tactical and strategic weapon, so I'm excited to see how it's used.
That's a pretty good point, actually, all things considered. Need to see how the play with the RPG actually evolves over a little bit of time, but we've seen its use case so far today, but mostly to try and get those big AoE bombs down. People concentrated, clustered too much inside the house, and it's obviously forced people to be a little more dynamic with their movement. Keep an eye on Nara. This is a team that has really not had a great go of things, and might be a little bit late for them to turn their fortunes around, but nonetheless, they're trying.
That's all I have for that. Trying.
That's some good analysis right there, Fish.
We have 2 games left, and they're now trying. In all honesty, the Indonesian region has been the weakest region on par with Southeast Asia General for some time. Did finish very well with the 1 team they got into the finals last split, but if they can do the same thing this time around, it's going to be a whole different story. Hopefully they can. I would like to see if they do.
Well, it might very well be possible, but going to be difficult. I think that's the key thing here. Like we've talked a lot about how the Vietnamese teams, the Thai teams who aren't in this match today, slumping a little bit. But that's relative to expectations, whereas a lot of our teams in Indonesia, especially not WAFFF, the expectations just weren't there to begin with, because this hasn't been a powerhouse region, not producing a series of strong contenders, just a handful. And it looks like God gets got very quickly there. Nara does manage to get 1 clutch. That was a bit of a hunt, and this is what you got to see now. Like, teams playing more aggressive because they need to get those frags out early on because they aren't outlasting in these straight-up firefights that are happening later in the game.
I mean,
I don't think God was expecting that.
no. Just got jumped on.
Yeah.
And something we don't see too much in the Southeast Asian region is single players kind of falling as well. Look at that. Good cover coming out from Ayab. Just making sure that Lodi, as he crosses over towards the house, is not followed by another player. I mean, no one's there, but they're doing the due diligence, which is nice. I mean, we watched the North American region this morning, and for the North American region, we had so many times where players were just picked off one by one during the looting phase, where there'd be a squad of 4 that just rocks up into one place, and suddenly, you know, that single player that was looting by himself, trying to get a better loot time for the team, is just picked off.
That's what happens sometimes if, you know, you happen to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. If you get a little bit greedy and think, okay, I can split up from my team, I'm going to be able to maximize our loot chances, and there's a team that just opportunistically rocks up, you're in trouble. It doesn't happen as frequently in Southeast Asia as it does in a region like NA or especially Europe, but it does occur sometimes, and you have to be very careful for that to happen. All of a sudden, your team gets put on the back foot, and we saw that's exactly what happened with Got there.
Shots.
Majipagi, he's going to run into a bit of a barricade. I think they're going to turn around here. Yeah, that's a big nope. Majipagi nearly gets knocked out.
Both Ayatats and Majipagi are one tap away from falling, and they somehow live to tell the tale.
Oh boy, yeah. And our Warriors, close calls. So they'll be pulling it back into the garage, getting their heal on, med packs available.
I love the call coming out from Ayatats as well. You know, next to no hit points, still steps out and just makes sure he provides some covering fire so that they could run away.
Yeah, well played. So this is one of those things that can keep you alive when you run into a bad situation. Sometimes you don't make those reactions in time and you find yourself knocked down or executed before you can even actually make a play. Here's BDS. Looks like they'll be rolling back up on this and our Warriors squad.
Are they going to pick a fight? I mean, yes, they are. They drop off 2 players towards the southern side of the compound. Drive around towards the north.
Oh boy.
Ayab is still here.
Here's Lodi waiting on the outside of the compound. So this is going to be an interesting firefight here. Very calculated play, decision-making. We'll see if it bites them in the behind, if NR Warriors are able to hold.
Look, they spent so much time scouting this one out, but they haven't found anyone yet. Both Majipagi and Ayatats haven't been seen. Grenades are being thrown out.
Ayatats is on half health. Mac is there too.
It's Majipagi.
Oh, and mutual downs.
Training 1 for 1. You can see that Mac's like, you know what? You can, if you're going to get down, I'm going to drive around and look to see where this final player is. Majipagi does get executed at the end. It's just down to Ayatats. This is the team that drove away and tried to disengage from BDS, but BDS hunting them down.
Yeah, BDS clearly have a bone to pick right now.
Another squad actually showing up. It's Nara.
Bimb is just going to bail out. He's out of there. This is getting too hot. You want to be able to try and survive as long as possible.
As the Bimp does get knocked down, as Nara blows up that vehicle. Now going to come back into it. This Ayatats got killed, so...
Oh, car chase. Oh, my goodness. They're going full Dukes of Hazzard at this point. It goes right up the end.
Way.
And Nara are coming away with the kills this time.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake. Didn't they see what just happened to Bimp? Why is he trying to escape on the truck? Just these mistakes are mistakes that cost you when you're at the top level. Oh, that's scary.
Big RPG coming through.
But again, that's just Bimp got killed in the truck. Then why is your other teammate getting the second truck and driving out into what just killed your other player? Again, teams keep making these mistakes, and they're just mistakes you cannot make when you're in this high level of play.
No, certainly not. AL's getting involved in this fight between Call Me as well. They're losing a lot of members. Getting down pretty quickly. Superman waiting in that window, and Chim Chim's there. Doesn't find him, but yeah, this is a bit of a messier fight. I don't know what you're doing, but okay.
Superman.
Oh, God. Wow. It's been a while since I've seen the movies. Or the TV shows.
Never seen either.
Really?
Chim Chim's running away.
How do you know the theme song?
I mean, it's just pop culture.
Yeah, but you gotta hear it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not on Spotify, is it?
No idea. I don't want to know.
Well,
Bye.
Okay. Jeff Pro gets a 2K with the truck run over.
Yeah, so he gets the kill as well as the execution, the finishing off of Black as the final teammate falls.
Okay, taking a look at our reduced field of play, we will see a lot of land here as it encompasses pretty much all of Wheattown, all the way over to Research Edifice.
Lovely.
And there are currently 4 teams that are outside the circle, and 3 of them look like they're dedicated Medstrat.
Yeah, see, look, the problem I have now is none of those teams actually have a player in the circle yet. So they might not be med-shredding. They might just be looting, waiting for
That's true. It's still very early, right?
Right, so I'm going to wait to call it. I think we'll still see SEAL Team do it.
Oh, they are the ones.
We might see NRX do it now that they've secured such a large lead.
I would like to see them actually kind of go in guns blazing, though, to pad some stats with frags. I know it's not necessarily the safest, but they're guaranteed in. They shouldn't have too much to worry about, and they can kind of play kingmaker here.
I think the main thing for NRX now is because it's a group of the Vietnamese and Indonesian teams. If they punish them and play very well, you could knock out some of the biggest contenders. You could knock out F9.
Yeah, and that gives
now known as Just Team.
That gives you the opportunity to see to kind of pick your opponents. Now you can see them actually inside this cabin as like an AA peeks very carefully. TikTok was hunting for him.
Get him. Just Team and NRX in a standoff. I mean, it's like we've seen this movie a few times today.
Well, you know what they say. One movie hits the box office, you're going to want to get a sequel in ASAP. NRX definitely not shy of the spotlight.
TikTok's just like, TikTok.
Well, his right shield's holding firm.
TikTok.
But all of NRX are know he's there now.
And they were already exchanging shots earlier. But NRX, they take a shot and then they simply jump into their monster truck and disengage. I mean, they've got two of them.
All right, so I guess that's the choice. That's the game plan right now, is to just kind of run and gun for Nara. They move their way back into the play zone, and this seems to be one of the few ways that Nara is actually able to find some points, because when they try to play the holdout game, inevitably, they just aren't as strong of players pound for pound. The accuracy just is not there. So instead, they decide to go hunting, which is a strategy that we don't see that many teams in Southeast Asia employ. Nice to see from the Indonesian side.
And we're going to get the small squad skirmishes soon here, Pyra. We're only 13 minutes into the map, so another 2 minutes and we'll get the small skirmishes that we see the midpoint mark. And then we'll have a little bit of a lull in the action again before we get towards the 23-minute brawl that we expect in Southeast Asia.
Oh, yes, indeed. Still, everybody training their sights on NRX. You can even see Baby, 90 here, holding on the outskirts of the research edifice. And I see Makarov in the distance as well. Baby is a team that have kind of been up and down the last 2 rounds, but still managed to place within the top 3 both times. So impressive performance out of this team. Baby Jr., another Indonesian side that is going to find it very difficult to place into the top 15, but not outside the realm of possibility. That's the critical thing right now. It's really, really difficult. They were in 22nd place out of 25 teams coming into today, but they have had a couple of good performances. It's just you need to pretty much start getting top place and fragging out every game. So doing everything they can. JZ has eyes on him. From behind the down jet.
Get him!
He turned away as soon as you said that.
Run! I don't know, something. Do something, guys.
Do something.
We've got a minute until you guys need to start fighting or I'm going to get upset.
Is that the amount of time that you're allotting?
15 minutes is where they must be fighting.
Well, unfortunately, NRX decide this is not the time for fighting. They choose to run away to a different house.
I wonder how they're going to approach this play zone. NRX have had problems in the past when they tried to dart in towards the play zone and they get picked off while they're inside the cars. I think that's why they've gone for the convoy system. So actually slowly watching teams move in.
This isn't bad, actually, for NRX right now. They're finding a pretty good path to cut through without running into too many enemies.
Yeah, see the number 5 on the screens if you're curious about who NRX are. Actually going to run into a squad here.
Oh.
Be careful.
Careful, it's going to be Calmy. Still laying down a little bit of suppressing fire here. This means that they actually are in pretty good shape straight in the middle of the play zone, so they can post up just about anywhere they want. Just the problem is there's not a lot of unoccupied compounds left.
Well, the jackpot's right on their left, but they're not going for it. So
They might have to fight Fire Rose for this one.
they're going to try and take this small one. No, they're going to try and look for somewhere else. They're just driving around. They're testing the waters almost.
It's window shopping right now. They're looking for places that they might want to occupy, but they're getting to lay of the land.
Look at how they did it. They had their first truck scout ahead, and then they took enough damage for it to go on fire, so they jumped out. And then now they still have a monster truck that's at full hit points. NRX are strategically playing this play zone very well. They found a compound they can take as well. Nobody inside.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty
It's on the
solid
money.
compound. It's a 2-level house. You're able to get in and out pretty easily. There's a hill on the back side of it, so it's hard for teams to creep in from all angles. This is a good spot for NRX, and as you pointed out, this is one of the reasons we're seeing this team consistently finish high. They have a very solid strategic outlook to the way the game is, and they still can't drive. At least they can't park.
And they know how to use their trucks for strategy, but they can't drive it anywhere effectively.
Well, execution is half the battle. Still, they managed to get from point A to point B, so give them some applause for that. And they're just going to post up. Nobody's keen on going for them. Now remember, 16 minutes in, we're going to start seeing people having to fight soon, but we are 48 players still on the map. There's only been 12 kills in the first 16 and a half minutes of play. So yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time or you're a veteran of the Southeast Asian region, yeah, you pretty much know this is the case. This is how they like to play. Slow and steady wins the race. Up until the 20-minute mark. And then all hell breaks loose. Hopefully. Looks like Fury Roads is going to take to the off-roads. A couple of convoys as well for them. And they are encroaching upon Baby territory. Baby, though, holding this spread-out formation between a couple of houses. Hello will be point man. As the firecracker comes through.
Whee!
Announcing his presence.
I'm here.
Ah. I think that's a good way to do it. If you got to tell people you're coming, you might as well do it in an explosion of
He
sparkles.
gets knocked down as he pushes forward.
Yeah,
Cars now
that
drive
part's
around.
not so good.
Oh boy.
All right, we got FR coming through as well. And goodbye, truck. Amiu is going to have to bail out of that one, and he runs straight into a nest of fire. Going to get downed, eliminated. Mocker. Baby holding firm here now in this cabin.
See, I really like watching players do that. It's like, cool, you've bailed out in the middle of nowhere. What's your plan now? Okay, run straight back towards the gunfire. That sounds like a great idea. And it keeps happening.
What else keeps happening is this open air battle between Gao team and Will Clubs.
They got the
Will
truck.
Clubs getting the better of it. Meanwhile, back at that fight, it looks like there's a couple of trades between Baby and Fury Roads. 1 for 1, 2 for 2. Pretty even. Looks like Sikbin is actually
It's the
going
last
to
player.
drive through there, but he gets his car blown up, and Dwinter is downed.
You'll get picked back up, so Baby actually do get the better end of that.
Yeah.
Play zone's not collapsing for another minute.
They were the
2
defenders.
minutes.
They had the advantage at the moment. So I think Baby coming out ahead is no surprise in that situation. We're down to 44 players. In all of that, we only had 4 deaths. Oh, maybe more. Kakarot, he's dropped down, trying to crawl away. He's got the help of Zoe.
Zoe. Pick him up.
Slowly. There we go. Kakarot's back on his feet. Ooh, Lamro. Oh, he was out in the open, but he had the riot shield, and now Zoe gets knocked down. Kakarot chugs an energy drink, and yeah, this is a pretty tense fight because it's right on the edge of the border of the play zone right now. Tough call there for a couple of the teams trying to fight along the edges of the trees. Especially Will Clubs. Ooh. Good block. The tree blocking the damage. Good old trees.
Kakarot doing what he can.
It's hard to lose when nature's on your side, fish.
Aha. Funny.
Was it?
Got Jadar. Jadar just hold it on for the moment.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes these cabins, as small as they are, can provide pretty adequate cover. Call me. They have a much firmer position, though, in that house. Superman, got to be careful not peeking through the window. He is faster than a speeding bullet, though, and he gets away. Still with 44 players remaining. No conclusive fights in these scattered skirmishes. That
No,
is about to change with Kakarot is lit up by Lamrong.
Yeah, Zoe's going to get taken down as well. Wood Clubs will lose 2 more members, and just jockeying for position. We're not going to see too much fighting till 23 minutes. And again, 41 players left alive. It's not like we've had too much action this match.
No, it really hasn't. In 20 minutes, we've only had 19 kills. So Superman gets knocked down by Yada. That was a crucial firecracker that goes through there. We're checking back in with NRX John. Looks like over here, once again on the edge of the play zone. Will Clubs, Triple X. I think this is the last remaining member of Will Clubs. And he might be finding himself a nice little hidey hole to Medstrat. Can't really take on Gao team guns a-blazing when you're one man. Gao are battered and bruised, but they've got health packs to spare.
And look at him go. He's bandaging.
And he's doing it again.
Yeah, he's just holding outside the zone. Triple X, he can't really run through Gao team. He's far away from the zone. He might just be holding out to try and get a positional finish, but even then, doesn't look likely. Jeff Pro is keeping Bren Esports on their toes at the moment. He's making sure every time they peek up, he takes a shot or two. Bren Esports are currently in an okay spot. They're going to be inside this zone, but look at that. Next play zone is so far towards the bottom left of the current zone that all these teams are going to have to move. So now it's that game. Chicken. Oh, it's going right towards his face!
Run, Jeff Pro, run! He does get out in time. That has got to be one of the scariest moments when you see the RPG heading straight for you slowly but surely.
He could have shot it.
Yeah, he could have.
Don't know if it does anything, but he could have shot it.
That was poking the hornet's nest. I'd like to see that interaction. But as you pointed out, everyone is going to have to run sooner rather than later. There's only one team currently inside the next play zone. A lot of teams outside the current play zone as well.
So many teams still left up. You're going to be a little bit busy coming this next play zone, Pyra.
Yeah, you're not kidding about that one. 40 players up and available. Oh, boy. Jeff Pro trying to light up as many people as he can on the way out. And there are so many houses and fortifications really available here. This is going to really be one of those long extended firefights.
Here we go.
Zeldrins is dropping them off, and looks like this is where the action happens. Fish, play-by-play mode, engage. As
shot his own teammate. It's fine.
Shoots his own teammate. That was a bit of an oopsie.
It's okay.
Ah! Here's Raynal bandaging up on the outside. This is the team that's inside the zone of play, Bren Esports. Seal making a run for it. It's Sanji. Bunny hop actually miraculously avoids most of the damage as he ducks behind the tree. Lin could not find a shot. Meanwhile, the rest of WA Triple F actually going down. And Lin is going to have to get healed up. He's outside the zone. Needs some help from Nutsier.
He needs to keep bandaging until he's at high enough hit points to get a first aid.
He peeks! Oh, no!
Move into the zone, but they pinned down too much there. He could have just kept bandaging until he was high enough hit points to actually first aid. Zone hasn't collapsed yet, so the
everybody's going down.
Double damage hasn't gone through. 31 players still left standing, and the zone is just shrinking.
Slowly but surely, the zone will shrink down to 0. Last big structure that will be within the field of play is defense fort. Everybody making moves for it at the moment. Zeus, you can see him on the outside. Still a couple of members of AL actually up. And oh man, everyone trying to bait inside that car as it's getting lit up by Yada. Fury Roads, or rather Fire Rose. Still pretty healthy as a team. NRX sniffing around, finds Yada. That's a couple of shots, and he's going to get downed. That's going to be Doi SCA. That gets a knockdown at a couple members of Baby as well. Baby firing right back. Ooh, and there's just lots of kills going through.
Doi had his back against the zone for so long. That actually saved him. Doi being able to take that shot there actually saved him, because now he can effectively heal just outside the play zone without too much worry.
Gao losing members, Fury Roads and Fire Rose losing members. Like an AA is getting a serious amount of frag action happening. NRX John once again flexing their muscles in this round. And Call Me cruising through. 2 members, Laser Pro, Bandar Sapu, and Superman. Make that 3, I should say. Superman's pretty low.
Da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Woo! Woo! You got one.
What does he need a car for if he's Superman? All right, so.
Just runs over Lancer, casually.
And Akame. Gets a knockdown. There's nowhere to go that's really safe, though, at this point, so they're going to have to make moves as the car explodes. Superman bails out, and he's down.
This is what I mean. Oh, RPG to the face. Call Me right there. Get out of the damn vehicle. Don't try and push your luck, and stop running into inanimate objects. Whole point of driving is to move, not stop.
We're down to 16 players now, Fish. Bren Esports, like an A, is going to get dropped, though, courtesy of Jeff Pro. I don't think they were expecting that one. NRX John haven't had to face too much adversity so far in these matches. Still 3 members up. They'll need a little bit of help to get that third one back on his feet. Lycan A does get Dwinter. I want to see Lycan A score at the end of this. He's been fragging out a lot.
NRX are having another great game here, Pyro.
Yeah, they might well take the top spot.
15 left, getting into the nitty-gritty part of this final play zone as the zone is slowly moving in again.
Jeff Pro does get a good knockdown, though. Once again, Lycan A is going pretty low. Jeff Pro's had a pretty solid round himself, but that's as kind of an individual. I think it's kind of worth noting that, you know, Call Me overall have done okay, but it really has been seeming like it's all Jeff Pro. Kame. Take a few stray bullets. This is what happens when the teams have to play on the edge of the zone. You get lit up like a Christmas tree. Zeldrin's going to get shot inside the house, but not before Lancer gets downed.
Mr. Lonely just hiding outside.
Oh, here comes the RPG!
He's so low, the zone's going to kill him. Mr. Lonely can't get back inside.
Goodbye.
That's the second time today we've seen a full scope in towards an RPG.
And he did shoot it, and as confirmed, it does nothing. You cannot
explode.
shoot an RPG and stop it.
Pow Pow, can he get inside the zone? He's got to get inside.
Oh, he's creeping.
Tina Pei, that's a mistake. Oh no, it might work. He just has to jump inside the zone, but Tina Pei might go down himself. I feel like they should have just let him crawl in first.
I think they made it happen.
Okay.
This was a close call for Benny Sports, though. Oh, boy. Benny Sports actually doing a solid job of actually staying alive this time around, and they needed it.
They get into the final play zones, and Brenny Sports are a powerhouse. 4 of the 9 players left are from Brenny Sports.
Yeah. We saw them in 6th place last time, and now we are looking at having them in a very advantageous position at the end of round 3.
Again, the problem has always been the early game. So there's 1 player from Baby. Jay-Z, they've got 3 players from NRX. Raynal outside, they're going to get knocked down. That swings it back in NRX's favor.
All right, so with Raynal being down, yeah, Jay-Z, he's going to try to light up Pow Pow in that truck on the opposite
What is their
side,
game plan?
And Raynal's taken down.
What is Brenny Sports' game plan? Why is Pow Pow over there? Why is the truck there? Why did they split up their entire team? They had 4 players. What the heck went wrong so quickly?
Jay-Z just outplays everyone. He gets knocked down, but my word, he absolutely dominated. So now the rest of NRX can come in and clean house.
That's it.
This should be all she wrote. NRX John.
Unless Took can get in there again, because
I don't think he will. I think he's med stratting again.
He is med stratting, but he's on his way.
He's coming through.
Does that say he's got 0 or 8 kills? Stop moving, Zippy. I want to see his kills. 0. Never mind. I thought he had 8.
Well, he's got 1 assist to bring him back up, though.
6ix9ine and Zippy already have 4 kills each. That's 8 kills for NRX.
This is the second time Took has been the last man standing not on NRX or NR Warriors.
He's the SEAL Team med stratter. He will stay alive for very long. 27 minutes in, he's actually found his way into the play zone.
Yeah, this time he's actually going to try to go for play. I mean, what else can you do? At this point, you're going to get 2nd place no matter what. You might as well try to take a few down with you.
If only he was there at the very end where Zippy was the last man standing going for the res, he could have got free win.
It would have been great if he had an RPG
so he's
to
not,
work with, but
he's not the last player. I think Baby still have 1 other
you're right.
player. 3 members from NRX. Baby should still be left alive. Took is up.
Well, this can't go any longer than the last round.
Took.
Or can it?
Took. Now, listen, you need to get into the zone.
It's Mocker.
There's Mocker. He's 200 meters
Nah,
away,
he's full on med stratting. Okay. So Took actually might only end up placing 3rd for his team. Took has to know this, but maybe. He can grab a couple members of NRX John.
He keeps moving from loot pack to loot pack, picking up med after med after med.
Ooh. He's a little exposed, though, here. This is dangerous. He's got to get back into the zone.
6ix9ine didn't see him. Took's playing this one so safe.
NRX John have vacated the house.
Did he just mess that up? You got to be kidding me.
That's close. That's very close. This is the most exciting med stratting I've ever seen.
He's a little bit screwed.
He can't move. He can't move.
Yeah.
If they see him, he's dead.
Yeah, now he's dead. He's going to run out and try and do something.
Oh, a little bit of extra damage. Looking for Zippy, and he can't find it.
And it's all over.
Took goes down. That is going to put SEAL Team in 3rd place. Which means, excuse me, into 2nd. It looks like Baby's
Baby does fall before
Baby fall before that. So
look at the kills coming out from NRX. 17 frags being picked up in 1st place. That takes away so many points.
A good split there among all the members too. And this is what you mean by NRX have the ability.